That was a nice win for the Aztecs against a very good basketball team. That the more tape I watched, the more impressed I was with their athleticism, their skill level, and what they wanted to do, they were able to do. Again, all these teams I watched, and so I had a feeling it was going to be a tough, hard-fought game. It was. And we hung in and found a way to get a win. I thought we guarded exceptionally well. Marvell Harris is a hard guard, a hard person to guard. He's going to take 16 to 20 shots every game. And we told our players that. Our goal was, can we keep him to 14 or under? And we did. And that was critical. Rebound the ball. They were one rebound offensively ahead of us going in. And in the first half, we were tremendous. I think we had 10, they had 3. It hurt us in the second half. They hurt us in the second half and overtime, for sure second half with offensive rebounds. So we've got to make sure that collectively we finish plays and find a way to give them one shot a few more times than we did tonight. But that was a good win for us. That was a good win, and we're proud of what we're doing. Anything?
Coach, obviously you shot free throws better in the overtime, but was there something else that changed in the overtime?
Not really. I don't think. No. We talked about what's done is done. You have no control over going back to that last play. So take a deep breath, get a good thought, and let's come out with greater energy and controlled desperation. Win the tip. Skylar's won every tip all season. Win the tip, get the first basket, and let's enjoy the opportunity to play 5 more minutes. That's all we said. And it's always easier when you're playing with the lead, and I think we played with the lead or tied the whole overtime. So it was important that we get the first possession and the first points. And we fought, and so did they. But I don't think we did anything any different in the overtime than we had done before.
The flip side of that is that the last 2 games you guys have really struggled in a period of the game where you almost never have, very uncharacteristically. The last 2 or 3 minutes you struggled a lot at Boise, and they almost tied it on 3. And tonight you struggled again, and they did tie it on a 3 and sent it to overtime. Is there anything you can point your finger at and say this is what we're not doing right? No,
not really. And I knew I knew what happened at Boise. We turned the ball over. We had 10 possessions, and we had I think 5 or 6 turnovers. Missed 2 1-on-1s. I knew I could replay that when I came to the press conference, but I'm going to have to look at the tape to find out what and why and how on the last 2 or 3 minutes. And obviously we got to have the ability to hold on to the ball, make a play, don't turn it over, box out. I think they had to have 2 or 3 putbacks in that span. So do your job. Do your job. Don't try to do too much. Just do your job, and everything will work out.
Coach, what do you think's been the X factor in being able to finish off these close games in conference like Boise and Colorado State now tonight?
That's what every league is about. You turn in games from 4:30 to midnight and watch, and a great many of them go down to the last shot, last play. That's just what we do, and I think our league, there's not a whole lot difference between where we sit now at 6-0 and where Boise sits, or where Fresno sits at 2-4. You know that. I mean, that's a good team we played tonight, and we found a way to win. And I'm very excited and appreciative of that. Now we got to play better. If we want to continue to be unblemished, we have to play better. We have to, as Mark said, we have to find ways when we got that lead to hang on to it and finish and keep them off of us. We did that at Colorado State. We were able to, tie score, and we beat them by 7 in the last minute and a half. And we've done that before. The last 2 games, we haven't, but we found a way to win the game.
Coach, Trey talked about this a few minutes ago about last year, and he may not have been in the most ideal position, but he also said that made him a better player. How do you assess that, and how much do you agree with that?
Well, Trey's a good player. He's a very good player. And right now, he knows he's a very good player. A year ago, we told him he was a very good player. And I don't know that he was as convinced as we were. But Trey changed everything about who he is, not just his disposition. I had people come and watch us in fall workout, and they didn't even know who he was. His body looked different. And he's growing up, and that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, you watched him. You watched him at Saints play, and he did what he did tonight. And he did it and didn't think anything of it, because that was what he was supposed to do. And he knew that. And I think he's starting to say, this is what I'm supposed to do. I can play unafraid. And he's doing that. And obviously, he made some big-time plays for us tonight. He had 4 turnovers at halftime and had none in the second half. And there was some heavy-duty traffic that he took the ball to at times, and a lot of hands swiping and grabbing and pushing and clawing, and he made the right play.
You ran him off the ball screens a lot more than maybe you have in the past tonight. How much of an advantage or weapon is it to have a 2-guard that has had experience at the 1 and play off that against a bigger defender as opposed to a point guard running against another point guard?
Trey had pretty good ball skills a year ago, but he's much more confident with the ball, much tighter with the dribble. He can get into traffic and cross over and make a play that I don't know that he felt like he could make a year ago. I think strength has something to do with that. He's a lot stronger. And you get bumped and hit and pushed, and you have to be able to take a hit. And we are using him more with the ball off a ball screen. And early on, it was more Jeremy. It was almost exclusively Jeremy. But Trey's good off the ball, doing what you saw him do tonight. And it's nice to have 2 guys that can do that. And when you put the other one in the corner, he can make a shot too.
The 3 by Trey, what was just kind of going through your head late in the shot clock? Obviously, the play didn't work out. Like Trey said, he didn't want to take that shot, but it was the only option at that point. What was just going through your head when you threw it up?
You talking about when Trey made it or Guerrero made it?
Trey.
When Trey made it? I mean, he threw one up and it went in. We got lucky. But I've seen him do that in practice. If there was one guy you'd want to throw it up and you say who would have the best chance to make one, it probably would be him. He shot it with decent form, but he shot it with the guy all over him from long distance. And we got it was good fortune for us on that play.
Coach, you were up 3 in the end of regulation. I know you like to foul, and the players said they were told to foul, but they didn't, just like at Boise. Was it a lack of communication, or do you think there wasn't the real opportunity for them to do it?
No, we told them to foul, yes. Dakari, I believe, was on Marvell Harris, and he's a wily veteran. We said, burn some time. Let him take a couple of dribbles. And maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. I think it was 11 seconds to go when they took it out of bounds, I think. 8.8? So we said, let him take a couple of dribbles. So he took a couple of dribbles and at midcourt, and he lunged into Dakari. So he did a good job not fouling there. And then it was a mad scramble for the ball, and we lost Guerrero. I mean, somebody, and I know who that somebody was, allowed Guerrero to get the ball, fly out, and more so than what happened with Trey, throw one in that he's not gonna make often, but maybe if they had a guy they wanted to throw one from there, it was him. But we wanted a foul, yes, we wanted a foul. So we have to do a better job collectively, and we've worked on it, but obviously not enough. We need to have, when we do our situations, we need to have that be a little bit more than 3 times, 3 possessions, so.